I'm gonna be reacting to completely fucking unhinged Resident Evil footage. If you're not a speedrunner, I promise you will learn something new about these games. By the way, if you like watching someone play hard-ass games, check out my live streams. Let's get into it. This footage comes courtesy of QP Demon QP. This is actually the world record. This is a speedrun of Ethan Must Die, which is one of the most unforgiving challenges in all of Resident Evil history. Just to show you how fucking cracked people are at this. So pay attention right here. Holy shit. So what the hell just happened there? You can't just spawn an Albert R on command, can you? Well, that's actually the beautiful thing about Resident Evil 7. This sucks. I got my afro all nice and good looking, and I'm gonna ruin it with these headphones. So when Ethan Must Die, every time Ethan dies, it spawns an angel statue, and whenever you knife it, you get a free item. There is a 1 in 14 chance that this can be an Albert R. Now, here's the really funny thing about how this works. Yeah, 1 in 14, it doesn't really sound that bad. It sounds like something that's easily grindable, but in practice, the odds of that happening are extremely horrible. People have had to sit down and die in the same spot for hours to get this to happen. But here's some secret Discord tech that some people don't know about. So whenever you die with the Albert R in your inventory, that 1 in 14 chance that I talked about actually goes closer towards your favor. The odds of getting the Albert R back are significantly increased. So I think what QP Demon QP did is he actually found a level 4 crate in a legitimate playthrough. And what he did was he intentionally walked all the way to the foyer and killed himself to leave that angel statue for him. But by doing that, it saves you hundreds and hundreds of hours of setup. But this is how Demon absolutely bulldozes through the game. This is normally a long segment to get through. Doing this on console too, which is a lot more impressive. And this strategy, ladies and gentlemen, is how you beat Ethan Must Die in only 5 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. The amount of dedication and possibly autism it took to do that. So just days before Resident Evil 9 came out, Spice actually went out and got a world record in Resident Evil 8, and something stood out to me in this clip, man. It really goes into just how fucking much speedrunners optimize their shit.
What does the Hall effect keyboard do? So basically, with Hall effect keyboards, the keyboard like registers how far down you press the key. You can change like when the key activates and stuff. So you can make the F key or like whatever your interact button is activate like 4 times every time you press it. So you can just, it's basically like macroing. It's just cheating. Like you can perfectly interact with the stuff at like max range perfectly every time.
So I actually had zero idea this was a thing. Apparently people are going out and buying special keyboards so they can actually press the F key every single frame. Essentially what this does is this allows you to interact with an object as soon as you come in range with it. Instead of mashing the key and potentially missing frames in between each mash, just set a macro that goes off every frame. The fucking batshit insane things people are willing to do to shave frames off of a 2-hour speed run. So I hope you guys notice in the top left corner, Spice actually has an overlay that hooks into the game's memory and tells him exactly what's in his inventory without ever having to pause his game. Where can I download this? I want it. If somebody in the comments could tell me where I could download this, I would actually love to have it. I need this in my life. That being said, that's really cool, but also fucking unhinged. So check this out. He goes and he grabs this grenade launcher here. Usually you use it against the giant werewolves, right?
So closing anyways.
He just walks past them. I didn't know you could just walk past this shit. Look at this. They don't even want him. The fucking ginormous mega mice seat size balls on Ethan Winters, dude. So before I show you this next clip, I want to give a little bit of story time. So the first time I played Village of Shadows in Resident Evil Village, I actually did it off of a completely new save file. I didn't use New Game Plus. I didn't use any advantage I could have gotten. No infinite ammo, no like challenge points unlocks. I just raw dogged it and it made the game super, super fun. Until I got to Moreau. Salvatore Moreau was like the stopping block that blocked me from being able to finish that run, because no matter how much I shot at him, he wouldn't die. This was all the way back in 2021. I remember looking up videos, oh, how do people beat Moreau on Village of Shadows difficulty? And all of the videos I saw were infinite ammo grenade launchers. Obviously, not something I wanted to do. Imagine just how fucking far my jaw dropped when I saw Spice do this.
Sniper ammo.
Dude, get the bully hunters in here. Like, what the? He stun locking him like it's a fighting game. Jesus Christ. What is this? If I knew you could do that, fuck, dude. There's tons of cool Resident Evil Village stuff, but we're gonna round off the video with the last entry in the first person trilogy, I guess you could call it. We're gonna look at Resident Evil 9. Big ups to Distortion. This is the former world record for Resident Evil 9. So this is the guy that Spice is regularly fighting off for the world record, like every toss and turn. This is the Ken to Spice's Ryu, basically. The reason I bring this up is actually this cutscene right here. Look at that. So he's got the Grace battle suit, the Jill Resident Evil 5 battle suit mod. And I actually wanted to point this out because a few years ago, I learned how to speedrun Monster Hunter. And in that community, mods are a humongous no-no. In the rules for Monster Hunter speedruns, you cannot have a modified game in any way, shape, or form. You install Reshade and people assume you're cheating. So I actually really appreciate that the Resident Evil community is much more mature about mods and speedruns. Like, if somebody was going to use a gameplay mod and cheat a speedrun that way, it would end up being evident. You know, there's only so many ways you can cheat at a video game, honestly. Now, I don't know if this is just because I'm a ginormous pervert or something, but I find that when I install titty mods to my video games, for some reason I play them better. I don't know if Distortion feels the same way. This might just be a me thing. Let me know in the comments if you're the same way, but yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's not even like I'm looking at the boobs, like just knowing that they're there in my peripheral vision helps me lock into the game. I have zero clue how that works. I also want to point out that Distortion plays Leon in first person, which actually goes completely against Capcom's recommendation. Capcom recommends you play Leon in third person. That way you have full situational awareness of what's around you. But look at this. Holy shit. Look at the way he lines up these shots. Just... Dude, look at how heavily he's rehearsed. Like, all of those sight lines, all of those shots, all of them, he aims a very specific way to guarantee that head is exactly where he needs it to be. Dude asked ChatGPT to play the game for him. Like, if I didn't know any better, I would say this was a tool-assisted speedrun, and that's a compliment, by the way. He could be aiming like this guy. Fun fact, there's no enemies in this area. What is he doing?
Nah, this is gonna take too long playing like this. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
He's shooting him through the doors. Like, every single thing is optimized, even this quick turn. No, I'm not gonna flick my mouse like most people would do. I'm gonna use the dedicated quick turn button. I'm gonna use every resource the game gives me to get this run done faster. That's what I love about speedrunning, dude. Another reason why I find playing Leon in first person so fascinating is because Capcom actually thought of this. They created some first person exclusive animations for Leon's weapons that you would only see in first person. You would never see them in third person. And the inverse is true as well. Grace actually has unique running animations that you literally would only see if you tried playing her in third person. Capcom basically animated the entire game twice, and I feel like people don't appreciate just how much fucking money that takes. So apparently if you idle in the safe room for like 5 minutes, all of the characters completely unload their weapons. So they take the mag out and then they actually flick the slide. There you go, and they catch the bullet. And this doesn't unload the gun in the game. You know, the bullets will magically reappear once you leave the safe room, but it is insanely crazy that they actually invested money into what's a completely cosmetic completely not necessary, just fully immersion based animation. It's crazy. And by the way, they did this for every gun, like every gun in the game. Capcom, are you okay? Did Wilds make too much money? Is that why you're doing this? I'm imagining a bunch of Japanese people like just diving into a whole vault full of coins like Scrooge McDuck. Like they're all like, we need to figure out what to use this money for. And here it is. Here's Leon unloading his SIG P320, dude. Fucking crazy, man. All right, how fucked up is my hair? Actually not looking too bad. To keep this video short, I only reacted to a few Resident Evil games, but let me know, should I do the action games next, 4 to 6? RE1 Remake has some really cool tech, so I don't know, should we do all the classic games too? Let me know in the comments down below. By the way, this channel is going through a little bit of a soft reboot. I'm still going to be talking about Capcom stuff, but of course, I also want to talk about all of the other stuff I'm interested in. So for example, I've got some singing videos in the work. I sing. I got some comedy videos in the work, and also I have a similar reaction video like this, but to a Second Amendment podcast. So if you like guns as much as I do, you know, if you've got a dark sense of humor, or you liked hearing me yap, or you just really like my personality, hey, consider giving this video a like and possibly subscribing. That's all I'm gonna say. See ya, perverts.